Carlos is in Houston. Hey, Carlos, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how you doing?
Better than we deserve, sir. How can we help?
All right, well, I have a couple questions, but I just kind of want to keep it short. I've been watching your shows, and I actually started reading your books not too long ago. So I've been kind of diving into watching all your shows pretty consistently lately, even through lunches like right now. But I have a little bit of debt, well, a lot of debt that I have to try to take care of. And it all kind of started, long story short, about 3 years ago during COVID, right before COVID. I purchased my house. I got a new car. And we had gotten kind of, I know it sounds kind of dumb, but based off all your videos, we kind of fell into a timeshare where it didn't really seem like it was until a month later when we tried to get out, and it was impossible since then. So I've kind of been stuck in that for, coming up to 2-3 years now. We went through so much trouble. With a lot of details left out, we went through lots of headaches and stress trying to get out of it. And I actually got out of the job that I was currently in that was kind of getting damaged by COVID. So now I'm at a job where I'm consistent. But I just really want your advice on how to get out of this debt, where to kind of get started. I kind of have an idea, but I did refinance that timeshare into a personal loan almost immediately after we did it, to save on interest, to save on payments. I just didn't want to be paying too much. But now I'm still stuck with that debt that after years of contacting them and calling and just getting misled, doesn't seem like I'm going to get out of it. So I'm really wanting to see how I can get rid of all this debt and what's the best scenario as best as
So
I
how
can.
much debt do you have, Carlos?
All right, so not counting the mortgage, I have about $72,000 in vehicles between me and my wife, $20,000 in loan, and $10,000 in credit card.
Okay. What's your household income?
$75,000.
Okay. You got to sell some cars.
Yeah.
Like all of them.
Yes, sir. And that's kind of ironic. Just listening to your show today, even, it kind of pinpointed different questions throughout the call-ins. And now coming to my situation, that's kind of what I've been thinking about a lot. Like, I've kind of figured if I call Mr. Ramsey, he's gonna tell me, that's the first thing he's gonna tell me. So it's just something that I kind of wanted some help on.
Yeah. So here's the thing: 75% of your debt is car debt. We can get rid of 3/4 of your problem selling 2 used cars that you can't afford. Problem is you love them and they're beautiful, wonderful cars.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What are they?
Yes, sir. And
what kind of cars are they?
A 4Runner. It's a 4Runner and a Tacoma.
You can get great money from that, though,
And
Carlos. They
The
keep
great
their
news
value.
the great news is they're probably going to sell for more than you owe.
That's actually kind of what I was going to bring up. Is I went to a dealer not too long ago, seeing the stress of everything that happened throughout the years, and they actually offered for my truck $46,000, and it's been kind of haunting me in my head. Even though as much as I feel like I can't find this truck again, I kind of wanted to rely on your advice, and I figured I could just get rid of it. I mean, I even thought, just to simply sell that truck for what they want and get something that's $20,000 less. I could probably put all that into the personal loan, pay that off, and using.
What do you owe on that car?
$40,000.
Okay, well you can't get something $20,000 less. You got to get something $40,000 less. We're getting out of debt, not into debt.
So your advice would be to remove both of them, not just one.
Yeah.
You kind of wanted to keep one of them.
Yeah, I'd get rid of all of them. Listen, you don't need to, if you own things with wheels and motors that equal more than half your annual income, you got too much invested in things that are going down in value. The only time cars have gone up in value in the history of the freaking world is in the last 5 months. Prior to that, they've gone down in value every year, and they will again as soon as the supply catches up with the demand and the new cars are starting to hit the lots again. So it's just a matter of time. This is the best time in the world to get out of a dadgum used car mess. And, son, you got a used car mess. You got to get out of these things.
And so, Carlos, too, it's buying a crappy $5,000 car somewhere.
Yep.
and you both drive that, but for a short period of time, Carlos. That's when you said, oh, but I don't know if I can get this kind of truck again. You can. I promise. Tacomas will be made. It may take you 3-4 years to get it, but you can get another car, another great car that you love again. But right now, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. The stress and the pain that these have caused you guys already, it's not worth it. So getting rid of that. And
so
then
I think it's fun to illustrate this. So you're right. He will get something again. So, Carlos, when I went through this myself, it was a long time ago. But I was down to one car, and a friend loaned me a 1978 Cadillac with 478,000 actual miles on it, and the predominant color on the thing was Bondo. It was a piece of crap. It was a car that was embarrassing anywhere in town, even in the worst neighborhoods in town. They laughed at you in every stoplight driving this car. I drove that car for 3 months, and I saved up $1,000 and got a considerably better car. This morning, I drove in a classic 1960 Corvette that I bought that is one of several automobiles that I own. If you will drive like no one else, later you can drive anything you want to drive, sir. So I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that I've been doing this a long time, and when I was driving that piece of crap car, I thought the world was coming to an end, and I kind of thought about that car this morning with the top down on that Corvette driving to work. I thought, if you live like no one else, later you can live and drive like no one else. This stuff we teach works.
Over the time. That's it. And that came from after being in a nice car.
Yeah.
That you were in.
Yeah, I was driving a Jaguar.
I was just thinking, I don't know why. Your daughter's heart just kind of giggles that a Jaguar was like the thing. It wasn't a Mercedes, but a Jaguar. I don't know why.
Mercedes, a lot of people had. Nobody had a Jaguar.
Oh, is that what it was? Jaguars, it was the unique.
Jaguars were exotic.
Oh, okay. So the Jaguar, 1980 what?
Just saying it.
What? Okay.
When a redneck says Jaguar, I mean, it's like a thing, These are words that don't roll off of a redneck's lips very often.
What year was it?
It was the first one was an 80.
Okay, so 1980. You're not Carlos. I'm not pinning you like Dave. But you're driving the car you wanted. Like he wants this Tacoma. Like you are in the thing you want. And then the pain to go from what you want.
I sold that to keep it from being
to go
repoed.
into Bondo car.
Yeah, I was going broke.
Was painful. So Carlos, here, if you're still
I
in
went
line.
from a super nice car.
Yep.
A nicer car in those days than you've got today.
Yes.
Into a piece of absolute trash.
So
that wasn't even mine. It was loaned to me.
Yes. So Carlos, prepare for the pain driving the crappy car for a little bit. But it's worth it for a short period of time to get on the other side to get what you want later.
I did that for 3 months.
That's right.
But telling the story right now, my stomach kind of hurts. Still. It was painful.
So funny.
It was awful. It felt, I always say I did that for 10 years, 1 3-month period. Because that's how it felt like. It felt like it was forever. Because, when everybody laughs at you at every stoplight, there's a lot of shame involved.
I just wonder who laughs at people in cars. Like I feel like
you haven't seen this car.
Person.
You would laugh at this car if you saw it at a stoplight.
Oh.
It's just, and you're a sweet person, but it's like you look at that and you go, this poor guy.
Yeah.
He must be homeless. It looks awful. How's he drive that car? It's horrible. And the Bondo or the vinyl roof was torn loose across the top, so when you drove it, it filled up with air. So it looked like a parachute.
That was the kind of car we grew up in, though.
Looked like a parachute.
What was the brown car y'all had when we were kids?
That was a Mark 7. That was later on.
Man, I remember driving into the school drop-off line, and that thing, it would bubble up, and you had to push it up.
No, that was the headliner did, not the top.
Oh.
This is on top would fill up with air, like you had a parachute on top of your car.
Oh no.
It was so bad. No, that was the headliner in that old brown one.
Yes.
I'd forgotten that.
And it would rest on our heads, and we'd be like,
Yeah, for about a week, and then I fixed it. But yeah, I forgot about that. That did happen.
I remember that.
That's the car I delivered books out of the trunk. The first financial piece book.
The brown car.
Had the little hump on the trunk. It was a 1985 Mark 7 is what that was.
So, Carlos, look, your future is bright. Your car future is bright, Carlos. You can do this. You can do this.